The man returned home after serving in the army for 5 years. He found that the house was already covered in dust. It was only at this moment that he realized his daughter no longer needed him. It turned out that 5 years ago, his wife had an affair with the president of Company A. During the divorce case between him and his wife, the court granted custody of their daughter to the man. But at that time, the country was at war, so he had no choice but to temporarily leave his daughter with his ex-wife. Many years later, when the man returned from the war, he had become a highly respected military commander. But to his shock, his daughter had already accepted the company president as her stepfather. The man was heartbroken. That night, he drank alone outside. Unexpectedly, a young girl suddenly sat down across from him. It turned out a group of thugs had been following her. The frightened girl begged the man for help. The man told her to go home earlier next time, then casually walked toward the thugs. The gang leader told the man to get lost, but the man calmly stood his ground. He had never lost a fight in his life. The gang leader suddenly flipped over a nearby table. Customers outside the restaurant fled in fear. The girl also wanted to run away, but she was worried that the man might get hurt protecting her, so she decided to go back and help him. But the next second, her eyes widened in shock. The man had already defeated all the thugs. Only the gang leader was left kneeling on the ground. He begged the man for mercy. The man impatiently told him to get lost. The gang leader immediately took his men and ran away. The girl thanked the man sincerely and asked for his name. But the man didn't want to reveal much about himself. He simply left the restaurant. At that moment, the girl's mother arrived. She told her mother about the man's story. Her mother was also deeply grateful to him. As the two were wondering how to repay his kindness, the girl suddenly noticed something on his table, a driver's license. It turned out that the man who saved her was named Smith. The girl didn't know then that she would soon meet Smith again. The next day, Smith attended a birthday party. It turned out to be his daughter's birthday. To restore his close relationship with her, he had carefully prepared a meaningful gift. But to his disappointment, his daughter was not pleased at all. She had no feelings for Smith whatsoever. She even ordered him to leave her party. Smith felt utterly embarrassed. Just then, the host of the banquet suddenly announced that the party had officially begun. She invited the daughter and her parents to come up on stage. Poor Smith still held on to a bit of hope. He followed his daughter onto the stage. Then he watched as the stepfather sat in the chair meant for the father. Smith was furious, but the stepfather felt no shame at all. He arrogantly told Smith to get off the stage. The daughter was even more excessive. She pretended not to see Smith at all. She naturally called her stepfather Dad. She even went so far as to offer him tea and respect. Smith was filled with rage. He suddenly remembered when his daughter was little, how she had promised she would always have only one father, him. But why didn't she remember any of it now? Smith smashed the stepfather's teacup on the ground. Ignoring what all the guests might think, he tried to drag his daughter away by force. The daughter thought Smith was being too overbearing. She shook his hand off, then announced to everyone that her only father was her stepfather. Smith was both angry and heartbroken. He warned his daughter not to be so naive. Even though her stepfather seemed very rich, Smith had secretly investigated his background. The stepfather made his money through illegal business deals. His company could go bankrupt at any time. The daughter was shocked. She had no idea her stepfather was that kind of man. The mother immediately panicked. She quickly accused Smith of lying. In her eyes, the stepfather was a billionaire worth $1.5 billion, while Smith was just an ordinary soldier who had recently retired. She insisted that Smith was simply jealous of the stepfather's wealth. Little did she know, Smith was actually the highest-ranking commander in the military. Even the richest people in the nation had to curry favor with him. He just preferred to keep a low profile. Everyone at the party burst out laughing after hearing that. They all thought Smith was joking. His daughter also found his words ridiculous. In the end, she chose to believe her mother. She once again ordered Smith to leave. Smith was deeply disappointed in his daughter, but he still insisted on giving her the gift he had prepared. Unexpectedly, the stepfather snatched the gift away. He opened it and saw it was just a military medal. The stepfather casually threw the medal onto the floor. Then he mocked Smith for being poor and pathetic. Smith's eyes turned dangerously sharp. He slapped the stepfather hard across the face. The stepfather fell to the ground in pain. The daughter immediately helped her stepfather up. She angrily accused Smith of going too far. Then she declared that she would sever her father-daughter relationship with Smith. Smith was shocked. and confused. He suddenly didn't know what to do anymore. Just then, a young girl suddenly arrived at the party. She was the same girl Smith had saved the night before. It turned out her mother was a female CEO worth tens of billions of dollars. Using the driver's license Smith had left behind, she found out that Smith would be attending this party today, so she came specially to thank him. Unexpectedly, she walked in just as everyone was humiliating Smith. The girl confidently declared that she was willing to be Smith's daughter,